So guys, let's take a look on what is happening with the game. We have here an update, we received the link. This is the update and let's make a review on that. Ongoing, public updated program. What the fuck is going on? Co-op is now live, so we can, if you like to play campaigns with a friend, you can play now by co-op. We have now Empire Wars in the ranked queue. So if you liked it, the game mode played on Red Bull, you can now do it. So go there and play Empire Wars. Capture Ager is easier than ever by adding UI support in Spectate. Oh, nice! We might have access to Capture Age in-game now. This is beautiful. And balance changes. Co-op. So let's go over each one of those topics. About co-op, what happens now in co-op is that we have 5 historical battles that you can go and play together with friends. The battles of Tours, Hastings, Honfoglalas, Kurikara and Bafos. Also, for the campaigns, you can play the whole Saladin campaign with a friend, the whole Attila the Hun, most of the or all of the Alaric ones, Tariq ibn Ziyad as well, Suryavarman, and Tamerlane. So if you want now, you can play with your friends with these campaigns. I wish we could play Genghis Khan. Raiding multiple hordes of Mangudais and Light Cavs would probably be way better than doing this, huh? Why not Genghis Khan, guys? Those guys totally missed the opportunity here. Genghis Khan would probably have been way better. So if you go over there, this is how you actually go for the co-op missions. You go there, select, get a friend to play, and do it. What to expect from co-op? Story-driven narratives and objectives, the same Age of Empires 2 you know, in-game dialogue, and beautiful crafted maps. Alright. Ranked Empire Wars. Oh, nice. Guys, we have here a ranked mode of Empire Wars, and I think that they did one right thing already. They are actually using the maps that were played here on Red Bull. You can play Acclivity, you can play Eruption, you can play Frigid Lake, Greenland, Lowland, Marketplace, Meadow, and Mountain Range. I think this is a good addition because map pool is difficult for game modes. The deathmatch quill was never good because you were forced to play maps that were not suited for that match. I had to play once Nomad on that match. This makes like 0 sense, you know. And now you actually can play more stuff like those other maps. So if you like to play Empire Wars, go for it. You have the ranked on Empire Wars. Get critical with Capture Age. This one interests me a lot. Last year, Capture Age team launched an official supported version of the popular Capture Age 2, Age of Empires Definitive Edition, and now we're making it easier than ever to use. You can now load live games and replay directly into Capture Age from the game. There are now Spectate with Capture Age as an option, and you can use these to do. I never used Capture Age. I was even asked today by Vini Garcia 87 why I didn't, and I don't know. I don't know how to use it. So now I will learn as well. So I will try, guys, to provide you some content using now Capture Age. I think it's a very good tool. Game stability and performance. Let's see. Fixed an issue where the game takes a long start. Fixed an issue where the game takes a long time to start up for players with large amount of graphical mods. Okay. Fixed an issue where graphics would sometimes disappear or flicker in long games. Greatly improved the performance impacted of players experiencing hitches when advancing to the next stage and are continuing to improve this performance. This is actually bad, guys. Sometimes the game just freezes when someone goes to the next, clicks to Feudal Age, for example. And this basically allows your opponent to know that you are going to the other age. It's ridiculous, right? A warning is now displayed for players whose VRAM is below the minimum spec. Fixed various rendering related crashes. Fixed a higher crash when switching from video to full screen while in-game mode. Fixed a hair issue where players would crash in-game after only playing for a few seconds or minutes. Fixed, maybe now Nikov stops crying. Fixed a hair crash where people would attempt to change their profile icon by temporarily being disconnected from the internet. What? Fixed an issue where players became resubscribed to event mods when they temporarily disconnected from the internet. Oh. Packing Town Center in Battle Royale now works correctly and no longer causes a crash. Fixed a crash that could occur under very specific circumstances with Capture Rage installed, and fixed a possible crash when trying to restore a multiplayer game. Well, guys, now I ask you, what about the Alt F4 on team games? What about the Alt F4 on team games? What about the Alt F4 on team games? These haven't been addressed. What about the pathing that makes villagers keep doing this with each other? Hey, I'm gonna pass. No, I'm gonna pass. No, I'm gonna pass. No, you pass. No, I'm gonna pass. Like, it looks like a Family Guy sketch sometimes on my berries, you know? And this is not being fixed. So what the fuck? If those are hard issues, why don't you just start to, I don't know, fixing the ones that everyone knows and are frequent ones, huh? Whoa. Ever heard of Pareto or something like that? Those guys should prioritize a bit better. Anyway, that's my criticism. Stability and performance, but what about the pathing and what about the Alt F4 on team games? Nothing, not even a word. Those guys don't even recognize. You have like 3 or 4 topics every week on Reddit complaining about the same shit. Achievements. Players who earn an achievement on Steam can now earn that achievement on Xbox Live if they sign in later and recomplete the achievement. Graphics. Fixed an issue where farms could turn partially invisible under certain circumstances. Ooh, I had this one. I hated that. I didn't know if my farm had been killed or something. Fixed an issue where unit outlines would sometimes not display correctly on the edge of the buildings. The Shark Taser Sheet unit will no longer clip through objects. What? Fixed an issue where move to arrow sometimes did not display when the camera was fully zoomed in. Audio. A new threatening yet familiar sound now plays when your enemy researches atheism. A new sound now plays when your enemy researches First Crusade, Human Mercenaries, or Flemish Revolution. This is good. It's actually a good way to tell players that, oh, First Crusade's coming, Flemish Revolution's coming, and so on. AoE 1 priests now heal units louder. What? Gibeiros now know throw knives louder. Okay. Well, let's see now UI. User interface. Unit technology for the Franks now have the correct default hotkeys. Buildings, melee, and pierced armor is now displayed on the unit interface when selecting a building. This is good. It's one of those hidden statistics that should never be hidden. The in-game spectator icon now correctly displays for players from the winning team who have not quit the game yet. Fixed various UI issues where text had incorrectly cut off. The M replays now correctly play back the initial play speed. Negative armor values are now shown more clearly on the unit interface. Only affects rents and siege towers. Good. Profile icon in Profile Managers now immediately updated when selecting new profile icon. Fixed an issue where sans serif font could appear smudgy on specific UI screens. When spectating an AI, their technologies now show in the global queue. Good. It's now possible to see the second tab of units on the in the Dark Age to see future technologies and upgrades. Good. Melee loading screens tip no longer claims Melee have infinite fishing traps. Finally, huh? The score and research panel display now properly save between watching various record and spectate games. This is good. Every time I had to display the score and the time whenever I was doing this. Spectator count is no longer displayed when no players are spectating the game. Okay. The diplomacy screen now correctly displays players' names that use kanji symbols. Alright. Building range indicator brightness is no longer affected by the select grid color when player color range indicators are enabled. I didn't understand that one. It's no longer possible to toggle the redness indicator of players on the loading screen. This was when a visual check was not possible to unready players. Okay. The aftermath timeline is completed matches statistics now group things together for a clearer overview. This is good to see how your team performed versus the other, no? Easier to analyze. Building range indicators no longer displayed for collapsing buildings. Good. Accessibility. Narrator. Gameplay. New co-op versions of historical battles. Okay. Adjust the range indicator to draw rounded rectangles when required. Sergeants now can repair dungeons while holding down Alt if they right-click the garrison option. Holding down Alt and clicking a repairable object also works to repair with villagers now if right-click garrison is enabled. Oh, finally. Monks can no longer drop relics on themselves, make them invulnerable to melee attacks. Oh, guys. I have abused of this glitch and also get abused. There's a monk, you go after the monk, he drops the relic and suddenly he is invulnerable because he is in the same spot where the relic is. This was a bug and actually made monk play better. It should be fixed and it is now. Villagers now automatically get their deep sea fish when they reach the shore after building a nearby drop site. Okay. Which means that if you drop like a dock and there's a big fish, your villager will immediately go to the big fish. This is good. Fishing ships now automatically start working in Empire Wars. That's nice, that's good. Fishing ships and trade cogs can no longer be trained on Battle Royale maps. Why? Improving the single mouse button mode so it better distinguishes drag selecting with giving command to units. Kings can now be issued a follow command using hotkeys, better to exploring on Regicide Fortress setting. Fixes. Hold a breath and let's go for it. Fixed a legacy issue where it was possible to remove shop and staggered trees with foundations distantly. Okay. Now the foundation construction has to be started to remove the trees. Oh, that's good. You cannot lame your opponent's trees. Fixed an issue where castle would reset their attack priorities after training a unit. I hate that. Imagine you are going to play with a castle drop. You are playing arena with a friend, which you probably don't like so much if you're doing that, right? You drop a castle and start making janissaries and also shooting a wall. But there's a house nearby, so whenever you make a new janissary, your castle stops attacking the wall and changes his focus to the house. This is a bug and it's fixed at least. Town center foundations now display their correct range indicators. Fixed an issue where command quills would not work correctly when task sergeants to build multiple dungeons. Okay. Fixed an issue where a group of moving sergeants could stop when commanded to build a dungeon. Okay, this happened to me. Fixed an issue where build dungeon button would sometimes not show up when selecting sergeants. What? Skirmishers and units which fire multiple projectiles now add correct amount of extra projectiles to fortifications when garrisoned inside of them. Good. Fixed a legacy issue where farmers would only work on the left side of a farm. They now work in the middle of the farm. Selecting random civilization no longer picks a civilization chosen by another player. Good, that's good. It adds more variability. Scout line upgrades no longer change the stance of previously trained scout units. What? Okay. Garrison units into allied ran or transport will no longer lose vision when the player does not own the market. That's good. Tatar ship, that was a huge bug. Chinese and Mayan villager and Inca Llama spawn bonuses now work correctly on nomadic maps in games with castle or high age start. What is it means? I don't know. Fix it. That's probably because of Empire Wars for Chinese to be not to be so OP. Huh? Fixed a hard legacy issue where the monks could lose their fate when converting a building in group while being within a specific range of their target, yet not close enough to contribute to the conversion. Nos. That's a very very specific bug. Fixed various issues with with foundations that are partially constructed in the fog of war and in the blank map. Okay, this is good. Fixed a legacy issue where dolphins could be deleted by replacing foundations on the top of them. Dolphins? I didn't even know we had dolphins. Gate placement no longer rotate when hovering over the unscouted walls and gates from other players in fog of war. Good. Partisan tactics now correctly affects hero cavalry archer units. Genghis Khan didn't have Partisan tactics? Poor Genghis. Fixed the hard issue that occurred in specific campaign missions where a ring of individually revealed cells of land appeared in previous and revealed terrain. Very rare. Fixed the hard issue where players could place a foundation on the top of other players' buildings on the edge of their line of sight. How? Players are no longer able to garrison units into enemy transports and runs during a threat timer. What? Okay. Campaign. Guys, I'm not going over the campaigns because I don't know about the campaigns. I don't know which of this information can be useful. But if you play campaigns, take a look. Some of these might change some of your scenarios. Civilization balance. So let's go for what truly matters. Hand cannoneer accuracy increased from 65 to 75%. I was complaining about that. I don't know if this small change will be enough to make hand cannoneer better once again. Revic of Archer increased attack animation duration from 1.15 to 1.17. A small nerf. Burgundians. Flemish Revolution, guys, is way more expensive, and the Flemish militia no longer deal 2 bonus damage versus building. A direct nerf to the Flemish Revolution. Okay. Elite War Elephants training time decreased by 6 seconds. War Elephants are back. And their cost changed in less 30 food and plus 10 gold. So they cost less food but more gold. They are still very gold effective. Guys, I think that this might put War Elephants back to the game. Elite Boyar getting extra melee armor. Those boys deserve it. Turks. Artillery raised their stone cost, replace it with wood, and now costs, instead of 450 stone, 450 wood. Beautiful. This means that I will be able to add more bomber towers.
Hey Stark, we just got a donation, man. Thank the donator, close that game and let's have a beer.
How are you today, boss?
I'm doing
Everything
fine.
good in the Mafia?
Yeah.
Hope you like the new changes. Business
Well-
is sorted out for you, wink wink.
Yeah. Things are getting sorted out now. This one on Turks is good. The Persian ones is okay. Nerfing Burgundians a bit is fine. And hand cannoneers still need a bigger nerf. Let's see if this will be enough. But I think that they should have way more accuracy. Like, man, every 4 shots they miss 1? What the fuck, man? And on random map, we have here the new maps from Wololo, Acclivity, Eruption, Greenland, Lowland, I voted for this one. Marketplace, Middle, Mountain Range, I don't recall. Oh, Mountain Range, okay. Northern Isles, Ring Fortress, and also Rune Stones. For the ones that said we have no Arabia, Rune Stones works like an Arabia. Oh my goodness, there's so many stuff. General. The starting setup on most maps on Empire Wars game mode now includes. Well, let's take note now what is new to Empire Wars. 2 farms and farmers, 5 herdables and 6 shepherds, 4 foragers, 12 lumberjacks and 4 gold miners. Seems like I'm going to tell you how to make a cake, right? On specific maps on assignment of food gatherers can differ. For example, on Greenland, you're probably going to have villagers on the shorefish. Also removed chance of very distant secondary ship and near spawns. Good for build orders and map balance. The starting gold now spawn further apart from each other. Bases are now more open and spawn without forests in front of them. Don't like it. Forests are now generally further away from the TCs. Players now spawn slightly closer to the center of the map. The center of the map is now more central for players, to be fair for everyone. This is fair. The hill in the middle of the map with the gold in it is now more prominent. Fair enough. The gold inside the central hill now features 5 tile gold piles and twice as many of them. However, the total gold is approximately 15% lower and is more scattered around. Also removed small lakes from spawning to better secure starting forest for players. Lots of changes to Gold Rush. Golden Pit. Deer and other objects no longer appear on Deathmatch and Infinite Resources. Finally, huh? It only took like 1.5 years to do this? Oh, congrats! Thin Islands. He removed the possibility of connected thin islands. How was that even a possibility? Random map scripting. Guys, I'm not a scripter, but if you are, I recommend you to see. Lobbies and matchmaking. Empire Wars is now available in Ranked. Well, for the ones who like it, go for it. I like that if there is a new event of Red Bull, I can practice with ranked opponents, so I will be able to play several games with good players before I join the tournament, which actually increases my odds. The pending invitations notifications now appears in the main menu. Fixed an issue where lobbies would not be visible until we received an invite to them. When there are more lobbies available and more are displayed when using filter options, to make it easier to find nearby games when using the sort by server option, server sort by ping instead of alphabetically. Okay. Party members can now see the host's map choice immediately after joining a party. Seems fair. Fixed the hair issue where hosts could change settings in a restored game. What? Restoring a game will now display the correct civilization of all players. This is good. It used to show like everyone had Britons. Fixed a hair issue where lobbies could break right after hosting a restore game lobby. Players banned from matchmaking now see an error message with additional information. Can players be banned from matchmaking? Please just do this to Ertug as soon as you can. There's a cheater playing Among Us and you guys have done nothing yet. Entering the wrong lobby password no longer displays an empty error message. The lobby drop-down now displays all available game modes without needing to scroll. When in a custom scenario, human player slots, including open slots, show before AI-only players. All players in a lobby now automatically get assigned default player colors when a new custom scenario is selected. The default player themes for custom scenarios are now no team instead of random. This is good. AI-only players added via selecting custom scenarios in the lobby should no longer say HD version. Well, for the AI, There are some moves here. I do not play versus the AI guys, so if you play versus, take a look. Pathfinding. Villagers now take pathing distance into account when selecting their nearest drop site instead of tile distance. Good. Villager no longer retreats 2 tiles away from specific gate rotations when tasked to construct another building. This is ridiculous. I lost games because of that. I order my villager to make a gate and a house. The villager is going to make a gate. He also has to make a house, so he says, wait. Let me take a better look. Maybe I will make the house there, the gate here. What the fuck, man? You are not a fucking architect. I just built the gate. Huh? I was desperate for a gate wall and, and I lost a game to scouts entering because of this shit. Fixed an issue where military units sometimes ignored crew attack commands. Oh, I hate that. Unit commands to attack several targets using waypoints no longer fail to attack the targets outside of their range. Good. Converted buildings no longer obstruct players while their destruction animation plays. Oh, I see. So you destroy a palisade. As soon as you kill the palisade, you don't have to wait for the animation. You can already walk in. This is good. Good if you are attacking, bad if you are defending. Fixed the hair issue where units try to avoid no longer present objects when targeting solid objects. What? Causing odd pathing quirks around seemingly invisible objects. What the fuck? Spirits? That's the only thing I can think of. Fixed a hair case where melee units could sometimes be undecisive while attacking enemy buildings next to enemy fortifications. Not so hair, right? Fixed a hair issue where onagers pass through trees after being commanded to quill to target certain nearby trees. Oh, this is... I know what this happens. You know, you just want to cut to a forest and then you just make a quill. You cut this and that and that and that. If you killed by accident one of the trees that were in the next quill, your onager will just say, I already killed the trees. I will stop my work here and wouldn't follow the sequence commands here. So this is good. Especially if you want to play arena and just make a huge road inside the forest, you can do it now. Huh? If you hate the forest, if you want to destroy the Amazonia, now this is the fix for you. Improved how vast amounts of views pass through narrow spaces. Fixed the legacy where fishing ships sometimes attempted to drop food to unreachable docks. What the fuck? Scripting, as I said, I'm not a great scripter. Localization, various issues in all languages on the translation. Modding, not a modder. Editor, not an editor. And finally, investigation. As always, we are continuing to track the issues reported by the community for future updates. Here's a brief update from our production team regarding some of what is still in the works. Alt F4 and quill dodging. We're aware and fix is coming very soon. Oh, very soon. Like only 1.5 year, like 18 months, 19 months. More than 20 months? This is very soon for you? That's an issue that is fucking up you to play on the quill for like 20 months. This is not very soon. This should be done yesterday. This should be done as soon as those guys could, with a big apologize together. That's my opinion. Anyway, this is an issue that we will be monitoring and managing and on an ongoing basis once the solution is live, to ensure that players who are using this tactic to dodge quills aren't finding new ways to abuse the system. Once this is live, we'll want your feedback, so please go on your forums or tweet at us and let us know how it is performing. We'll have more information shortly as we get closer to this change. Alright, so 20 months after killing the team game ladder, you do that. Congrats. Crashes and freezes. We have been busy fixing quite a few game crashes and freezes that users have reported through support and PUP. In this process, we are observing that is player-reported issues, when they are informational only, can remain pretty difficult for us to track down. But log files and a little bit of back and forth with supporting have been incredibly helpful. This shift towards working directly with our players to dig into the issues you are reporting has allowed us to bring some big stability improvements to the game in a short amount of time, and we are anxious to keep this up. Here's the added information that you need to help our teams to work faster to provide solutions. Nikov, you motherfucker crier, start taking notes. If your game is crashing, there is a new type of log file that was introduced into the last patch, and it looks like this. Example, AOE de-sting random numbers .mdmp. So guys, if you guys have this issue of crashing, there is this directory that you should go, find this log, get this log, and then send to the support team so that they can probably ignore your log or work on your problem and try to solve it. Disclaimer. Please note that this list is subject to change and should not be considered a comprehensive list of all the known issues we are tracking. The above is to inform you the team current priorities, which will change as other issues arise or take precedence. For the last updates, please visit our social channels, which are here. For example, the Twitter. Congrats. And that's it, guys.